Hi everyone. So, following some advice from your feedback from last term, what I wanted to do this term was trial a flipped classroom, which means you guys watch the exercises that I do and take notes for homework before the lesson. And then in class, you'll complete your exercises and get help when you need it. So, based on what you said, I think we should give it a try. So let's start with our first lesson. So a lot of this term is about algebra in different formats. And the first thing we're going to do is basically revision, but let's go through it anyway, solving linear equations. So just a reminder first that equations are those mathematical statements that contain an equal sign. So if there's no equal sign, it's not an equation, it's an expression. Because it's got an equal sign in it, we can solve equations usually to find an answer if there's only one unknown or if we know what the other unknowns that might be included are. So what we're going to do this lesson is look at solving linear equations. And a linear equation is the type of equation that can be written in the general form, ax plus b equals c. Basically, that just means that it's an equation that has no squared terms or higher than that, no cubed terms or anything else. There's one unknown and its power is no higher than 1. The equation doesn't have to be in that form at the start, ax plus b equals c. Remember, a, b, and c are just numbers. They're just coefficients, so they could be any number. In fact, the equations that you can see just below there are all linear equations. They're all just written in a different form. But if you have a look at each of them, you can see that the power that's attached to the x, and in one there's even 2 x's, and that's fine because it's the same unknown. But there's no squared terms or anything higher. The highest power is 1, and of course, when power is 1, we don't even write that term. So I hope that makes sense, but let's go ahead and solve some of them. So just a quick reminder before we go ahead and do that the rules of algebra say whatever we do to one side of the equation, we have to do exactly the same thing to the other side, and we have to do that each time. So what would be a good idea for you to do now is stop this recording that I've got and check out the YouTube clip that I've embedded here for you. Just a little song, just reminding you what to do, and I thought you might get a kick out of it. Up to you if you want to watch it or not, but I think it would be a good idea at this point because it's going to start with some basic ones that we're doing now, and we're going to get to more complex ones later. But you can do that yourselves. So stop this screencast and watch that now. Okay, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. Now I'm going to actually solve some equations with different types of problems in them. So these are the 5 equations we're going to solve. Let's do each one on its own. So, of course, I'm going to start with A, 2x plus 3 equals 4. So, it really doesn't matter where you start, but remember the whole point of algebra is to collect like terms wherever possible and get the equation down as simple as possible and hopefully find an answer for that unknown. So, in this case, the only like terms we have are the numbers. There's no different x's in there. There's only 2x. So that's the unknown that we're working with. So let's collect the numbers that we've got there. So we need to move that plus 3 over to the other side where the 4 already is. So obviously, to do that, we are going to subtract 3 from both sides. Now you can write that. So you could write 2x plus 3 minus 3 equals 4 minus 3. But as you get better and better at algebra, you will get to the point where you don't write all of those steps anymore. I guess the danger just is in where you might make small errors. So you have to be very careful and make sure you write enough information so that what you intended to do was very clear. So let's go ahead and solve this here. So 2x equals, obviously 4 minus 3 is 1, and we need to get x on its own. We don't want 2x. X is what we want. So to get 2x down to x, of course we need to divide that by 2, and we have to do that to both sides. So again, you could write 2x divided by 2 equals 1 divided by 2, or just go straight to the answer here. It's a fairly simple problem, so I would expect you guys to be able to go straight to that answer. All right, B. X over 4 minus 3 equals 7. Now, some of you here might want to go and get rid of the bottom of that fraction first, but in this case, that is not possible. So the minus 3 is a separate term, and it is not divided by 4 at all. So if you multiply both sides by 4, we'd actually end up with a bit of a problem here. So in this case, we need to get rid of any numbers that are near or on the same side as the x divided by 4, because we need to get that x divided by 4 term on its own before we can do something with that. So we're going to get rid of the minus 3 in this case first. So x over 4. Now, minus 3, we have to add 3 to both sides. So x divided by 4 equals 10. Now we can do something with that divided by 4. Now, of course, we need to multiply both sides by 4 to get rid of the divided by 4, because that's the opposite. So in this case, x equals 40. Hopefully you understand where that follows. If not, please see me in class. Okay, C. 5 minus 2x equals 12. So we need to get rid of that 5 on its own. And don't be tricked into rearranging the 2x, the minus 2x, and putting that in front. 5 minus 2x is not the same as 2x minus 5, and the order matters here, and then remember the sign stays with the term. So we need to take 5 away from both sides to get it away from the minus 2x, but we're still going to be left with that minus on that side. So minus 2x equals 12 minus 5, minus 2x equals 7. Now, we don't want minus 2x, we don't want minus x. So we need to divide both sides not by 2, but by minus 2, because that minus is going to stick with the number here. So x equals 7 divided by minus 2. And of course, we could simplify that down by the to a mixed number is minus 3.5. Now the minus just goes out the front. It doesn't matter if it's attached to the bottom or the top of the fraction. It still just makes the whole number a negative. Hopefully you remember that. If you're a bit concerned, maybe ask me or do some more practice with that. Okay, D. 2x over 3 plus 5 equals 7. So again, we have to get rid of that 5 first. The whole expression on the left-hand side of the equation is not divided by 3. So we need to get rid of everything else first. 2x over 3 equals 2. Now, multiply both sides by 3. So that's going to give us 2x equals 6. And of course, we need to simplify that down to x. So divide both sides by 2, x equals 3. So once you get the hang of it, it's actually pretty simple. Now, 2x plus 4 over 9 equals 2. Now, this one is different than the last two. In this case, the whole left-hand side is divided by 9. So the thing we're going to do first is get rid of the bottom of that fraction, or in other words, multiply both sides by 9 to do that. So 2x plus 4 equals 18 here. So you can see, because the entire expression's over the 9, we do things in a different order here. So same then, once we've got it here as we had before. 18 minus 4, 2x equals 14, and of course x equals 7. So something that's really key to remember here is you can check your answer by substituting back into the equation. To see if it makes it true. So if you are not sure, or it's just good practice to do it anyway, if the answer you have come up with makes the equation true when you substitute it back in, it is the correct answer, presuming you work it out right, calculate it correctly, evaluate it correctly. And that is a good way for you to check in an exam or anytime. So that is today's lesson. Now, notice then we've got your turn. You're going to do some exercises from exercise 2D, and your homework for tonight, which really does need to be done before the next lesson, is to watch the next one. Watch the Solving Equations screencast and make notes with what is there. Copy down the exercises would be a good idea, and then we will do in class the exercises from the next exercise, and you can get help and hopefully get it done and have no homework. Of course, if you finish in class, you can go ahead and watch the next one as well. All right, hope that helps. See you later.